we brought up the with Stephen casting the resemblance. William Hartnell. Was it just the first thing you thought of when you go to cast somebody?
No, I mean I've had it in mind for a long time. I really genuinely tried to get off the ground for the 40th anniversary. It didn't really come to anything. Obviously, the fact that Doctor Who came back is what's made a big difference. But I've had David in mind for a long time. Obviously, I was struck quite a long time. I think actually because David's hair, we had to cut it. But it usually is quite long.
Yeah.
And there's an immediately striking perception. It was one of those curious ways. I was watching you in something. I think it was Prick Up Your Ears.
Oh.
And that's about 87, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you have become much more like William Hartnell.
All right.
I mean, more than anything, because it's obviously not just about some sort of lookalike competition. It's because David's one of our finest actors, and I just thought I knew what David would bring to it, as the sympathy of it, and a funny kind of parallel to Hartnell really is that David often plays nasty characters. I know has a heart of gold. And that to me is what makes the difference. You'd be a great Scrooge, I know that. But that's because, like Alistair said, the person playing Scrooge actually I think fundamentally has to be lovely.
Yeah.
You can't cast a horrible person to play nice, you can tell. I think you have to be a nice person who can really play nice. And that in a way is what, I mean, Bill Hartnell was a very complicated man. But I knew what David would bring to it. And as fundamentally I wanted the story to be, it's a human interest story. And hopefully you can watch it without knowing anything about Doctor Who, because it's about a man's journey, basically getting the best part of his career, and then because of his illness, sadly having to give it up. It's like about saying goodbye.
As I see her sitting here laughing and smiling and lovely, because last we saw you, we hated you. Game of Thrones, so.
Well, I bumped into some of the Starks.
Did you?
Last night at the
Hello
party.
again.
Yes. Any weddings coming up? Well, the invite should drive up, I don't know.
Well, David, were you a fan at all of Doctor Who? Was there an aspect of that was appealing about the role, or was this just a good part?
Oh, it's just something I've grown up with. I mean, I'm young enough to remember William Hartnell as I saw the first one. So, again, it didn't say, it was just something a bit spooky. I was sat reading before I went out, you know, I thought, but you wouldn't have, I didn't imagine for a moment that it would last as long as it did, let alone that I'd be one day playing it. I mean, that was long before I decided to become an actor. And it's just, I'm constantly amazed at that thought, you know. Yeah, so I remember him and Patrick Troughton and John Percy and Tom Bateman, and it wasn't like I never missed an episode of that, but I kind of kept in touch with it, although I was aware of it all those years.
How do you approach him? I mean, you have to really kind of walk the line and not do an impression of him.
That's right, yes. Yeah, well, it's more important, I think, to capture the essence and the spirit of him rather than do just a cold, dry impression of him. Right. So, I mean, to start with, it helps if the writing is great, and so that was a bonus. And working with Terry McDonald, the director, who I'd worked with before in a Jimmy McGovern series for the BBC called The Street. So you knew you were in really good hands, and all you had to do was just work on the character and just bring out all those inconsistencies in his nature. Very complex man, and just to bring out all those complexities, his dark side as well as his playfulness with the role. And apparently, according to his former colleagues, and in excellent biography written by his granddaughter, Jessica Carney, who was there, he was a great practical joker, and he used to do impressions for the cast, and it's easy to forget that because we only see him as
he was a great comedian and fast.
Yeah. I've read reviews of some of the theatre work he did before, and he was.
Really, James Cagney was his great hero.
That's right.
Yes, he was quite a lot shorter than David, but there's a real Cagney. There's something pugnacious about him.
Yeah.
Like a jockey.
Yeah. Well, he trained as a jockey and did a bit of boxing, and from such an unpromising start in life, being born illegitimate and having to hide that fact by claiming he was brought up in a peaceful Devon village on a farm, because the stigma of illegitimacy at that time, 1908, was like terrible. He suffered briefly at school, so one feels he kind of reinvented himself, and thankfully had a mentor who supported him through drama school and gave him the chance to get out of the life of street crime, which he was involved in when he was a teenager.
It's a really interesting thing. I mean,
could have gone either way.
Yeah, he wrote this memoir in the third person, like the life of a London street urchin, which is clearly him. And I've seen that. Jessica's got it, but it's fascinating. It's like the mudlark, and you can see it's written in sort of pidgin, Cockney dialect. He really was on the verge of becoming a criminal.
Yeah.
And then this man came and sort of changed his life. But unfortunately, there's no room for any of that. It was in some early drafts, but the focus had to come down and down and down to essentially the four main players. And that's the thing I keep stressing is it's a drama, not a documentary. There are, hopefully, to support the film, there's lots of websites where you can see like a fuller picture of some of these things. Only 90 minutes to tell a story. And it's mostly Bill's story. You have to focus on Doctor Who, but it's all fascinating.
Yeah.
Focusing on that, I probably more so for you, Mark, going back to watch that episode, I don't know if you did as well. How was that revisiting those old episodes, the original episodes?
I watched them every day. Anyway.
Oh, really?
Well, it was. I mean, the thing.
A little slower.
I was trying to capture Bill as I felt he was, which is not the Doctor, because it's a very good, it's a great performance. You know, he's much more twinkly, and he starts to put, as his memory starts to go, he starts to put more and more business in to cover the fact that he's desperately trying to remember the line.
Yeah.
But it's really funny. All that stuff. You can sometimes see him go, and Caroline Ford said to me sometimes, because he's very tactile, and he used to almost crush her, because actually, as well as affection, he was thinking, oh God, that's the next one. You know, and he held a hand like that.
Yeah.
But I tried to get the sense of his voice, and there's a sort of there's a particular kind of between the wars talk, which I think is very much influenced by American movies. You see in his letters and postcards, he often calls people kid. It's a sorry kid.
Yeah.
It's a very particular thing.
Yeah, when he refers to Caroline as
and I love all that. And he, you know, he had a very bad temper. So, but you can see how he would fluctuate from one side to the other. Yeah. There's a lovely story which I've sort of dramatized, made into one of the producers. They had a code word if he flared up on set, and they'd say, "Get the designer," and actually the producer would come down and talk him out of his bad mood by essentially flattering him. And there's a lovely. I've not quite done this, but there's a lovely story where he's moaning about something, and then the producer said, "I was just thinking, I was admiring that chair. John Barrymore used to. I saw him, you know. Really? Oh yes, many times. Did you?" And they talk for about half an hour about John Barrymore and then Shakespeare. Well, I'll sort that thing out. Oh no, that's fine. And that became a sort of coping mechanism. And, it was really very much. I think they all had to handle it with kid gloves. But as David said, he's the original, and he established what we have today.
But for me to find a way into it, you can't just act ill temper or grumpiness. You've got to you've got to look for reasons to empathise in some way. And for me, it came from that a sense of deep insecurity from that upbringing we talked about before, and that helped me to find a way into the character. And he played up, I suppose, it was his insecurity in his early years, just coming back to him. So it was useful to know his life before.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So cool, you guys.